Are you okay, Gabriel?
Sure. Great. Why?
I'm worried about you.
If I were any better, Grace, I'd be dead. Now what's up?
You got another package this morning. Overnight from Germany.
I was expecting that. Where is it?
Well, it kind of came open, but I salvaged the contents. There was a letter from your great-uncle Wolfgang and a journal.
The package just came open, huh? How'd you like the journal?
Someone has to look after you. You're in trouble, in case you didn't know it.
Yeah, you've been reading my horoscope again, haven't you, Grace?
Just read the journal carefully, Gabriel. Please.
I got it. St. George's books. Oh, Professor Hartridge. I'm glad you called. Did you? Oh, you did. You did. Oh, wait. Slow down. The Agree. Really? You think that's them? Wheel within a wheel. Ogun Badagri, huh? Well, that does sound like it. Dambala, the snake. That's the wavy pattern at the bottom. Okay. The 1791 slave revolt in Santo Domingo? Well, why would the Veve show up there? Uh-huh. Okay. Look, I'll come over as soon as I can, okay? Relax, Professor. I'm excited too, but you're gonna give yourself a heart attack. Okay, thanks. See ya.
I wish you'd tell me what's going on. I swear you're gonna step into a hole you may never get out of.
Don't look so worried. No one knows what I'm doing. I'm perfectly safe, and I'm getting some great stuff for the book. Besides, there's something about all this. My dreams.
What about your dreams?
Oh, nothing. I'll be careful. I promise.
Today's newspaper is on the counter. Times dated June 22nd, 1993. Disgusted with the state of the voodoo murder case, Gabriel turns right to his horoscope. The shadow upon you is no longer reversible.
Wonderful.
The newspaper clipping describes a ritualistic murder in Congo Square. It includes a rough sketch of a pattern found around the body. The sketch is very similar to the reconstructed Veve. Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads of Gunther Ritter's journey to Charleston as a witch hunter, hired by the townsmen to solve a series of ritualistic murders. He reads about Gunther's meeting with the beautiful slave woman, Tetela, and of Gunther's tormenting urges for her.
Poor bastard.
He reads of their physical union and passion, and of Gunther's investigation into the murders. The victims were all crew members on a certain slaving expedition to Africa, it seems. The second to the last entry describes Gunther's plan to set a trap for the coven committing the murders. He'd found a name on one of the surviving members of the crew, a man now living in the West Indies. Gunther has spread a false rumor that the man is returning to Charleston. He himself will impersonate a sailor and allow himself to fall into the hands of the coven. Naturally, Gunther has arranged for able-bodied assistants to follow and attack the coven before they can do him harm.
Ballsy son of a bitch, wasn't he?
Gabriel turns to the final entry of the journal.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Could you research Rada drums for me?
Rada drums? Sure. I don't think we have any books on that topic in the shop, but I'll contact our suppliers, assuming any of them will extend you any credit.
Tell them it's an emergency.
Uh-huh. I can see where a Rot-a-Drum book would be incredibly urgent. Anything else?
I can't think of anything. This guy's really starting to bug me.
No kidding. I have a feeling if he can see us, they can see us.
Get the hell out of here.
The figure outside does not respond.
I've got some things I need to do.
Good luck.
Hey, Hartridge, what's the good word? Hartridge? Ah! Oh, God, not again. He's looked better. I'm not touching that body.
Whatever Hartridge may have learned, he can't share it with Gabriel now. At least not vocally.
There must be something here about what Hartridge found out about that Veve. Damn, this is his notepad, but the top sheet's been taken. Hartridge's notes. This must be about the Veve. Nothing else looks related to my case.
A wastebasket next to the desk is filled with crumpled paper. There's nothing of interest in the wastebasket. The squatter grins maliciously at Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't want to disturb Hartridge's treasures. Before leaving the university, Gabriel notifies campus security about Hartridge's body.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait! Gabriel Knight.
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
A large, sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner. A large crystal ball is prominently displayed. Gabriel figures that many men have picked up things in Magentia's parlor, but he'd rather not. Magentia's bottles probably contain secret ritual concoctions. There's a chest in the corner that looks like a carnival machine. It's impolite to mess with other people's stuff. Gabriel should wait until he's asked. It's an old-fashioned parlor lamp hung with crystals. It's a large cluster of quartz crystals.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodooienne's work is protecting her clients from the spells of others. I mix special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Mr. Knight.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodooienne's power. If people don't believe, there's not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur. Things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antennae, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild. They wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Do you have any idea what Cabrice and Call means?
No, I don't.
Do you know anything about Beves?
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndful?
There are many voodoo churches in New Orleans, no?
Yes, but have you heard of a secret voodoo houndful?
Wherever did you hear such a ridiculous story? There is no such thing.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
It is the oldest, darkest heart of voodoo.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
There are some things it's better not to know about, Monsieur Knight.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How did you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame. I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I'm a voodooian. That is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodooians are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course, the level and the power of the voodooians differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in Nolens. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I'm well versed in the magical arts.
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Tell me anything at all.
Dr. John sends me many seekers, such as yourself.
Tell me anything at all.
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind.
Yes, I'm a voodooian, a voodoo priestess.
Nice place you've got here.
Thank you. For me, it's a sort of temple.
I can see that. Do you get many people in here on an average day?
Some days, the need for my power is greater than others. But I have many regular clients who would be lost without my vision, Mr. Knight.
I can imagine. That's a great-looking mask on the wall.
It's from Africa. A gift to me from Queen Tabitha.
Do you know Dr. John well?
Oh, yes. We are old friends. Those with gifts are often drawn together.
So let's say I came to you wanting to attract a woman. What would you advise?
I wouldn't think you have any trouble attracting women, Mr. Knight.
No, I guess I don't. So what advice do you give your clients?
I tell them to follow the light, be aware of the darkness, and always get expert spiritual advice from someone with the sight.
That's what I thought you'd say. About Grimwald.
What about her?
Where did you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me, monsieur. I am sure they know better than we.
How did you learn how to handle Grimwald?
I told you, a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Uh-huh. Fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
Are you sure you wouldn't consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
I told you, I couldn't do that.
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Except for a shared snakeskin, the cage is currently empty. Gabriel grabs the shed snakeskin while Magenta is otherwise occupied. Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from Magenta Moonbeam Snake. The snake scales are hued brown. They don't match the scales from Lake Pontchartrain.
There. Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it. Thank God Hartridge was a doodler. Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Ah, the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
I'm afraid I could never translate this code for an outsider such as yourself, Monsieur Knight.
Are you sure you can't translate this for me?
As I said, it's a very secret code.
Surely you can see I'm trying to learn as much as I can here. How am I supposed to become an insider if you won't help me?
That's true, I suppose. Perhaps if the Loa were to grant you their approval.
How do I get there?
By using my Ask the Loa machine.
A machine?
Yes. A spirit guided me to it years ago in an antique store. And its guidance has never faltered. I trust it implicitly.
I see.
The spirits often work in mysterious ways, Mr. Knight. If you aren't willing to ask...
No, I'll ask. Let's see here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Knight, but the Loa don't seem to be convinced that you are worthy.
Yeah, they are rather picky, aren't they? Could I try talking to the Loas again?
If you think you can convince them to grant you their approval, of course. Well done, Mr. Knight. You have earned the Loa's approval.
Truly, it's an honor. Now, about that code.
Let me see. Well, some of it is nonsense, I'm afraid. Whoever wrote this wasn't very good.
That's all right. Just tell me what it says.
It starts with a D and J. Then... okay, this part makes sense. It says, Conclave tonight, bring... well, then there's more nonsense. F-W-E-T-K-A-S-H. The last bit might mean cash. Fresh cash? Doesn't make much sense.
That's okay. Thanks. DJ Conclave K-A-S-H. It's a start.
I'm happy I could help.
Well, I guess I'll be going now.
As you wish. May the protection of the snake god go with you.
Thanks. Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh. You bastard!
Good day, Mr. Knight.
That thing just tried to kill me.
He did. I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see. We were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door the next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
What happened to you?
Who, me? Nothing. Why?
You're kind of a pale green color. Come here.
Pale green, you say? Charming.
What's that on your face?
I'm sure you'll tell me.
Looks like a sparkly or something. Got it.
I love it when you pick stuff off my face, Grace.
Well, excuse me.
There's something in the ashtray. There's something in the ashtray. There's a snake scale in the ashtray. The item in the ashtray is too small to pick up by hand. Gabriel can't see a way to use that. Gabriel is carrying a scale he found near the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. Gabriel can't see a way to use that. Gabriel is carrying a scale he found near the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. Gabriel finds a snake scale in the ashtray. It's a souvenir from the museum's python. He places the two scales together. The two iridescent scales are a perfect match.
See you later.
See ya.
Three nearly identical little girls are playing jump rope outside the station. There's something a little off about them.
Hey there, girls.
The little girls stare at Gabriel, but say nothing to him.
Hey, mostly.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Crash is dead.
What? What are you talking about? I let him go yesterday.
Yeah, and I watched him die yesterday at St. Louis Cathedral.
At the cathedral? I guess he was trying to get a last-minute A-train ticket, huh? Poor bastard.
I think you should go find the body at the morgue. He was killed by the voodoo cult. Crash said...
Crash said? What, he mentioned pink elephants too?
Aren't you going to investigate?
Civilians. Did you actually see someone kill him?
No, actually I was with him when he died. Could have been poison, though.
Yeah, well, when they get the body in, they'll do a quick autopsy, standard procedure. If it's anything other than an overdose, I'll get a report.
There's been another murder. A professor at Tulane.
Oh, Christ. You're not gonna start this again.
Just listen. This guy's name is Hartridge. He was a professor in African studies at Tulane. Well, yesterday I went to see him about the voodoo murders case. He agreed to do some research for me. He calls me up this morning, tells me he's on to something big, and when I get over there, the guy's dead.
You know, you're really getting your ass in a sling over this thing, Knight.
It's not about me. Look, Hartridge's death looked just like Crash's. I'm telling you, they were both murdered, and by the same people who did the voodoo murders.
Did either Crash or this new guy have their hearts ripped out?
No.
Then there's nothing to link either to the voodoo murders M.O. Besides that, the case is closed, Knight. If the coroner's report asks for a homicide investigation on either of these guys, fine. But it's not going to be related to the voodoo murders case unless we find damn good reason to do so.
But I'm the link to the voodoo murders case. Don't you see?
Look, if I were you, I wouldn't repeat that to anyone. Because if I weren't an old friend of yours, I might take you seriously and lock you up. As it is, maybe you should start keeping your mouth shut and not involve other people with this shit if you think it's so dangerous.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
I already told you. You still need to prove that there's a legitimate voodoo cult in Narland. Prove that they're a threat. Get me a lead on the cult.
know those marks you found around the murder victims? This is a reconstruction of the whole pattern.
What makes you think this is an accurate reconstruction?
Well, I borrowed the partial patterns from your police file and did my own tracing of the pattern at Lake Pontchartrain. An architectural artist reconstructed it for me from the partials.
Really? So this is the whole pattern, huh? That's pretty good work, Knight, but that doesn't prove that this pattern is really connected to voodoo.
This is a newspaper clipping about a murder committed in 1810. That murder is an exact match of the voodoo murders, right down to the marks around the bodies.
This does sound like the same M.O. 1810.
1810. They killed then, they're killing now. Isn't that proof that they're likely to kill again? Or that they are a threat?
Sure, if there is a voodoo cult, they're a threat.
I have these two snake scales. One's from the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain. The other's from a snake in the Voodoo Museum on Ursulines and Charters.
Is this common? Do they all look alike?
Not at all. They're both constrictor scales and the coloring is the same. A python's coloring is quite individualistic.
A python?
That's right. Hardly an indigenous snake to Louisiana. Somehow, some way, the Voodoo Museum's python was at the scene of the Lake Pontchartrain murder.
Well, I'd call that a lead, all right. It definitely suggests certain lines of inquiry at the museum. Not bad work, Knight. Whether or not the museum's involved with a legitimate voodoo cult, though, is another matter. These guys may just be faking it, too.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
I already told you. You still need to prove that there's a legitimate voodoo cult in Narland.
Showing that to Mosley again wouldn't do much good.
I'll let you get back to it.
Later, Knight.
Hey, hey, hey.
Knight, come on in.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
How can I convince you to reopen the case?
I already told you. You still need to prove that there's a legitimate voodoo cult in Narland.
I have this. Take a look at these notes. They're from Professor Hartridge at Tulane University.
Yeah? What about them?
They confirm that the pattern for the murders is of African origin.
Really? That's incredible, isn't it? Something like that showing up here.
It's been here for quite some time, so it seems.
I'm impressed. Okay, you convinced me. The murders were done by a legitimate voodoo cult. Okay, I'll reopen the case. I hate to admit it, but you've done some pretty good detective work here, Knight.
Well, you know what they say. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, point taken. Glad I could inspire you. I'll check around the department, but I have a feeling I'm on my own. I'll be in touch. Meanwhile, you stay out of trouble. I mean it.
I'll try. Thanks, bud.
Now lay low and let me handle this.
Yeah, fine.
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home for the day.
Damn. What is it? What's wrong?
Gabriel!
I see it, Grace. Hold on. There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in the back. It's okay.
Okay? Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
Oh, God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No, I'll take care of it.
But, Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
They know where you live now.
Shh, it's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No, I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on Rada drums.
Really? Great.
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back.
Special delivery, it seems. There could be a secret passage under the doormat, but we didn't have time. Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley in a small brass key. Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested that I take vacation time, so I am, at least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
The note is signed by Mosley. The book contains several pages of Radha drum codes. Grace actually managed to find a book under Radha drum code. Times dated June 23rd, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. John's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. John's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. John, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. John's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die, or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where? Good coffee. Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What do you know about voodoo?
I know more than I ever cared to. I wish you'd never messed with this voodoo stuff in the first place.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I know you shouldn't be messing with it, and I know you will anyway.
How do you feel about New Orleans these days?
I'd rather be anywhere else in the world right now.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Is that a voodoo word?
I don't think so. It's German.
No, sorry. I don't speak German.
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I can't think of anything. I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
You're back. You know, you really freaked me out running off like that. Anybody home?
Stay away from Malia Gede, or you shall pay with your life.
What the hell is going on?
It's one of the Radha drummers. They transmit coded messages through the quarter for the voodoo cartel. Gabriel listens carefully to the drum and opens his Radha book to translate. If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct...
There'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou. I guess your parents probably told you not to talk to strangers, huh?
Sure enough, the girls are not talking to Gabriel. 3 nearly identical little girls are playing jump rope outside the station. There's something a little off about them. An abandoned car sits in front of the police station, 1 tire removed.
Oh, God. That's awful. That dead bird doesn't look like an accident. A warning? Not a chance in hell. I get the feeling this tire iron wasn't just used to take off that tire. It might come in handy.
You got no business back there now. Move along.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
We don't have a Detective Mosley here.
What? I've seen him here all week.
Listen to what I'm saying. We don't have a Detective Mosley on the force.
Interesting design for a trash can. Must have been on sale at Cops R Us.
That window leads to Mosley's office. It's stuck. I need a tool of some kind. All right, I'm going in.
Mosley's desk has more growing on it than his head.
It's locked.
There's a tracking device in the drawer.
This tracker might come in handy. the hell was that? Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Do you know of anything interesting going on this evening?
You mean St. John's Eve? Mr. Knight, I know of nothing that you would find amusing.
The Voodoo Shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
Professor Hartridge called this a Sakei Madule.
Gabriel slips the signal device into the Sakei Madole.
Can I assist you, Mr. Knight?
No, just looking.
Now if only they take the coffin to the ritual.
Could I ask you some more questions?
No. I hate to rush you, Mr. Knight, but I am afraid I must close the museum early this evening. This is St. John's Eve, and it's getting on towards dusk. I have things I must do.
I see. No problem. I'll just,
Leave. Goodbye, Mr. Knight. May the spirits guard you well tonight.
A new series of crosses is on the wall. The wall doesn't work that way.
let me get these new marks down. I should check this against the code Madame Moonbeam translated for me. Maybe I can figure out what this new message says.
Gabriel checks the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols except for 3. Gabriel gazes at the translation of the second voodoo code message. A few letters are still missing. Gabriel sketched a new series of crosses from the Laveau tomb and added what letters he could match from Moonbeam's translations. Gabriel gazes at the translation of the second voodoo code message. A few letters are still missing.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
Sensing that his message isn't quite right, sensing that his message isn't quite right, Gabriel rubs it off in frustration. Sensing that his message isn't quite right, Gabriel rubs it off in frustration. Pleased with his message, Gabriel tosses the brick down. Now if only DJ reads it in time.
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
Use your paints to copy this snake tattoo onto my chest.
Now why on earth would you want me to do that?
I can't tell you, Grace. It's a secret research thing.
I see. Well, I'd like to help you, but I'm not allowed to do snake tattoos. It's a secret artist thing.
It wards off evil. It's a good luck snake.
Yeah, well, about that tattoo job, good luck finding someone else to do it.
I'm going to a party tonight. Costume, you know.
You don't say. I guess you're going with Malia.
Yeah. That's right.
And why should I help you out when I don't even like Malia?
Well, if you're jealous about my feelings for her.
You know that's not it. I just think, as your friend, that she's trouble.
It's perfectly understandable. I know that you have certain feelings for me, quite naturally.
Me? I would rather be hung by my hair over a bed of scorpions.
I know it must be hard having it in your face like this. No chance to avoid hearing about it, seeing it day by day.
Fine, I'll do it. Just shut up. Can we at least go in the back?
Sure, but could you say that one more time and pout your lips more?
Ugh.
What'd I say?
All right, let's go. The shirt, please.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment.
Now. hold still.
Maybe you'd like to tie me up.
One more remark, and I'm leaving.
Okay, okay.
Done. It's just stunning.
Sorry I couldn't make it last longer.
Well, it was about what I expected from you.
I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
Gabriel pulls out the tracking device, hoping that the Sakei Madeleine made it to the ritual and that this thing will work.
All right, there's a blip. They must be here with the second module. Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. This better be working.
Gabriel feels so turned around. Is this thing working? The entrance to the clearing is marked with voodoo skulls. At last.
When in Rome. Here goes nothing.
Welcome, Brother Crocodile. Please join the other celebrants.
Yes, Dr. John, Brother Eagle.
But first, name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
Damballa.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Who is the destroyer of men?
Ogun Badagri.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Enjoy yourself well tonight.
Gabriel!
Malia?
I know you now. I can smell his blood in your veins.
No.
You cannot change your destiny or ours.
No.
I will find you. I will destroy you.
No.
Where is your necklace now, witch hunter? Where are your pretty, pretty gems?
Gabriel! Gabriel, wake up!
Ow, my head.
Oh, it's about time. I've been trying to wake you up for hours. There's no time to lose.
I had another dream.
It wasn't a dream, believe me. Now come on, get dressed.
Wait a minute. I'm starting to remember. Something about Malia.
She's the head priestess of the Voodoo Cartel. They're responsible for the murders. They've been doing it for years.
Malia? Last night. She was the leopard. Like in my dreams, Grace.
I know, those dreams were a warning. Now come on, get dressed.
But last night, Malia changed. She became something else. And then I blacked out, I think. How did I get home?
I followed you last night. I knew you were gonna try to sneak into a ceremony. Lucky for you that I did. If you'd been left at that circle last night, I don't know what she would have done to you.
You're wrong. Malia wouldn't hurt me.
What about Tetelo?
Tetelo. They were chanting that last night. That's the name from Gunther's journal, the woman who took the talisman.
Yes, Gabriel, it's your destiny you're facing. You can't just blunder your way through this or you'll end up dead. You have to call your great-uncle in Germany. He knows more about this than we do.
Okay, I'll call him. But Malia isn't responsible for those things, Grace. It's that spirit, that Loa. It's Tetelo.
Yeah, possession is convenient that way. Call Wolfgang, Gabriel. I'll be in the shop.
Didn't Grace say you had to dial 011 first to get international?
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht.
This is Gabriel Knight. Can I speak to Wolfgang, please?
Ja, Herr Knight. Einen Moment bitte.
Gabriel, it's so good to hear your voice. I had such a dream last night.
There's a good reason for that, Uncle Wolfgang. We need to talk.
Gabriel fills in Wolfgang on the events of the previous evening.
It's even worse than I thought.
We have to talk about what I should do. What can you tell me about voodoo?
My library contains many books on the occult and religions, and I have read about some particularly evil voodoo cults. But you, at this point, have more direct experience than I.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
It sounds as though you have learned much during your investigation in New Orleans. Perhaps you will fill me in when we have a chance to sit down and talk.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I only know what you have told me. They seem to be very similar to the killings in Gunther's journal.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It was just another American city to me until I started dreaming about you. Now I feel it's not safe for you there. I wish you would leave.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I have not studied the subject. I have an intense dislike for them.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I'm afraid I've never heard of it.
Do you know what Capri Sanko means?
No? What does it mean?
It means goat without horns. It's a term used for human sacrifice in voodoo.
Well, let's hope we can avoid any more of that in this family.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
No, I'm afraid not.
I've heard rumors of a secret Howlfall here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I am sure they have a temple there. Would probably a very elaborate one. You should not go near it, though. Not alone.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Yeah, Tetelos people wear animal masks for their rituals, don't they? It is not at all uncommon. Many occult groups are based heavily on animal totems. Animals have such pure, primal traits. Spirituality, good or bad, is about reaching these pure levels. Aggressive and cunning like the snake. Agile and nurturing like the monkey. Even our family is associated with the image of a lion.
Do you know anything about Veves?
It is a visual symbol of one or more Loa. Each Loa has its own sign, which is used to summon it.
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
Damballa is a snake. He is a Loa, a voodoo god.
Yes, he's one of the primary Loa of the Getty tribe.
Ah, I see. Good work. That information might prove useful.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
It is a voodoo Loa, is it not?
Yes, a particularly nasty one, so I understand. Have you come across anything about it in your research?
He seems to be feared by most voodoo groups. That's all I know.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
My library contains many books on the occult and religions, and I have read about some particularly evil voodoo cults. But you, at this point, have more direct experience than I.
What can you tell me about Schottenjägers?
Of course, I sometimes forget how little you know of the family, Gabriel. I never understood how Heinz could allow his sons to remain ignorant. But now is not the time for that discussion. Schottenjäger is really two words in English, Gabriel. Schotten means shadow, and Jäger means hunter.
Shadow hunter?
Yes, shadow hunter. We Ritters have been Schottenjägers for many centuries. No one is sure when it began or how, but we have records of ancestors as early as the 13th century fulfilling this role. Some believe that the role was given us when... but such fantasies cannot be of use to you at the moment, Gabriel. Most people are completely blind to the fact that evil does exist. Shadows of darkness, spirits, vampires, witches, demons, these things are real. It is to their advantage that the world has become so scientific, so cynical. But we know they exist, Gabriel, and we hunt them.
How do we hunt them? And why?
Why? Because it is our duty. As for how, that is something you will have to learn. But it's not easily explained over the phone.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
Rada drums? You mean ceremonial drums?
Yes, the Getty tribe uses drummers around the quarter as relay messengers to keep track of their business.
Ah, so drums have a ceremonial use too. It would be useful to know their code, Gabriel.
I had Grace find some information on them.
I can see you already have the mind of an investigator. I hope it serves you well.
Tell me about yourself.
I hope there will be time for that later, Gabriel, after this is all over. For now, we must deal with the matter at hand.
Tell me about Tetelo.
Well, from your description of the ritual last night, I'd say that Gunther's mistress, Tetelo, is now the primary Loa for the Getty tribe. It seems she still controls them by possessing her female descendants and speaking through them. You remember in Gunther's journal he said that Tetelo was possessed by her father's Loa, during the killings in Charleston. This sounds similar, but Tetelo has obviously become a much more powerful Lovar than her father ever was. Probably because of the added power of the talisman.
Let's talk about the talisman.
I myself have only seen it in old sketches and paintings, and in my dreams. It was in the family for centuries before Tetelo took it. It is believed to be as old as the role of Schottenjäger itself. The talisman has genuine power. I don't know how or why, but it is so. The Schottenjäger swore to use the power for good, never for evil, for defense, not offense. We've been searching for the talisman for years. It's a terrible thing to know that something powerful that was entrusted to us is in the wrong hands. With the talisman, Tetelo has all the power and we none. The only possible way to fight her is to regain the talisman. Then we will at least be on more equal footing.
How can we regain the talisman?
The talisman is probably buried with Tetelo's remains. That's what gives her Loa so much power. To find the talisman, we must find her remains.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the talisman?
The most important thing about the talisman is that it be once again in the hands of the Schottenjägers.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Tetelo?
I believe she truly loved Gunther. After all, she was raised to be her father's daughter. The religion was not a choice she made, but a duty she endured. How can she be blamed for that? The spirit that she has become, that is a different matter. It is utterly evil. I am certain that the lower Tetelo bears little resemblance to the woman she was before the burning in Charleston. She was once a beautiful and intelligent woman, and she probably did not deserve Gunther's betrayal. But the Tetelo we fight now is more akin to her tribe's dark gods than to anything human in nature.
How would we find Tetelo's remains?
We have pondered that question a long time, we Ritters. There are two probabilities. The first is that her remains are with the tribe in New Orleans. The other is that the remains were returned to a sacred place near the tribe's original homeland. We've tried to locate Tetelo's African homeland, but Gunther says so little in his journal about her tribe, and slaving records are practically non-existent. As for the other idea, we had no clue that Tetelo's people were in New Orleans until now.
How would we find Tetelo's remains again?
We must locate the tribe's original African homeland. Her remains might be there, or they might be in New Orleans, buried among her descendants.
Let's discuss the possible African homeland.
All right. Have you learned anything that might help us locate it?
I spoke with Professor Hartridge. Unfortunately for him, he thinks the tribe's name was Agri, and that they live near the Fawn tribe in what's now called the People's Republic of Benin.
This is incredible, Gabriel. I must go research this new information in my library right now.
Wait, what should I do?
Stay low. If you get a chance, you might look into the possibility that Tetelo's remains are somewhere in New Orleans. But don't try to broach their private areas without my assistance, Gabriel. You will make a fine Schottenjäger, but only if you are not dead.
Sure. I'll wait.
Goodbye then, Gabriel. And remember, if you need a place of safety, come to Schloss Ritter.
Times dated June 24th, 1993. There's nothing about the voodoo murder case in the paper today. Gabriel finds a humorous tidbit under the Life is Stranger Than Fiction column. Apparently, there were reports of ghosts in the Bayou St. John last night. Various people called the newspaper with stories about hearing strange noises and seeing weird lights over the swamp. Some folks claim it's a ghost of Marie Laveau. The paper relates it to similar delusions that crop up every Halloween. Gabriel knows better. Gabriel's horoscope today reads, "Wise is the warrior who knows when to fight and when to get the hell out of Dodge."
God help me, I'm actually starting to listen to this guy. Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
There's a small marble plate near the tomb doors. The plate is up. Beneath the plate is a button. Gabriel hears the faint sound of breaking glass.
Damn, you'd think there'd be a light.
There's broken glass on the floor. Someone's broken the light in here. No wonder it's so dark. Gabriel has a feeling it wouldn't be wise to screw around unduly in this tomb. Gabriel doesn't need any broken glass. This wall is covered with decorated skulls, an ossuary shrine to some of the Getty ancestors.
Ugh, I hope no one ever builds me a shrine like that.
The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Jacqueline Getty. The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Ariane Getty. The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Helena Getty. The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Priscilla Getty. The plaque on the drawer has an etching of the Veve on it, but no name. The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Cecily Getty. The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Celeste Getty. Handsome, isn't he? The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Zelia Getty. The plaque on the drawer has a name etched on it, Rosamund Getty. The drawer is locked.
I think I know what happened to the men in the family now. Huh. Some of these look loose. Nothing. Hey, one of the drawers popped open. Mosley. Shit, I dropped my flashlight. Huh? Ouch. Oh, my head. What the hell was that? Mosley's body is gone.
There's a wallet in the drawer. It must have fallen from Mosley's jacket when the body was moved. Perhaps Gabriel should pick it up first. Gabriel opens the wallet and finds some ID belonging to Mosley and an American's repressed card. It's a man's wallet. It's a man's wallet.
Ben, I was worried about you.
For good reason, apparently.
What happened? Do you need a doctor?
Nothing you want to know about, and no, just some aspirin.
Gabriel, this is nuts. You have to get out of New Orleans.
No kidding.
Well, listen, Wolfgang called while you were out. He said, and I quote, "Tell Gabriel that I found what I was looking for. It's time for me to do my duty. Schloss Ritter is his now. Now call me crazy, but I don't think that's good news."
Not for Uncle Wolfie, no.
What are you gonna do?
If I figure it out, I'll let you know. I have a number for a travel agent on that phone book page if I need to call them. Didn't Grace say you had to dial 011 first to get international?
The number you have dialed has been disconnected. Please hang up and try your call again. This is a recording.
Hello, See the World Travel Agency. How may I help you?
How much for a trip to Rittersberg, Germany?
Rittersberg, Germany. Hold on, let me look that up. I can fly you into Munich. That's the closest airport to Rittersberg. You can rent a car from there or take the train. Let's see, the best price I can see for the flight is $1,400. What would you like to do?
Charge it to my Americans Repressed.
Yes, sir. And your name was?
Mosley.
Feeling a little guilty, Gabriel gives the travel agent Mosley's card number and is informed that he can pick up his tickets at the Nolens International Airport.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Guess what? I'm going to Germany.
Really? That's great. But how on earth can you afford...
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Oh my god. I wouldn't like the sound of that even if you were a man.
I'll miss you too, Grace. Goodbye, Gracie.
Good luck. Let me know what's going on, will you?
Of course. Are you gonna be okay here by yourself?
I'll be fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie.
Gabriel picks up his tickets at the airport and boards a plane for Munich.
Wolfgang?
Hello, my name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Herr Knight! Oh, kommen Sie bitte herein. I mean, come in, please, Herr Knight. I was not expecting you. Has Wolfgang sent you here?
Uncle Wolfgang? No, I came to see him. Isn't he here?
No, he is gone. I'm sorry. You came all this way.
No, great. That's all I need.
Herr Knight, Wolfgang told me all about you and gave me instructions for you to feel welcome here. Please, this is your home. You are a Ritter, no? I'm just doing some work. I will continue and you may make yourself comfortable. If there's anything you need, please ask me. You may use Wolfgang's bedroom. It is at the top of the stairs.
Thank you, miss.
You may call me Gerda, Herr Knight.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Wolfgang is the only one who would know about that.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
As Wolfgang may have told you, Schattenjäger means shadow hunter. The Ritter family have always been Schattenjäger. It is a kind of priesthood, though not as restrictive as most.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
Each Schattenjäger passes on his knowledge to a younger man in the Ritter line when the time is right.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
I am sure Wolfgang meant for you to take his place someday as Schattenjäger.
Tell me about Wolfgang.
What would you like to know?
Where do you think Wolfgang went?
I don't know, but I have a feeling he has gone off to be Schattenjäger again. He is too old for such chasing around. His heart is very weak. He has not left this castle for 5 years, and now this?
Do you know when he'll be back?
I only pray he will be back. Before he left, he said Schloss Ritter now belongs to Gabriel. It worried me so to hear him say that. I'm afraid Wolfgang knew he would never return.
What's Wolfgang like?
Wolfgang is a truly wise and good man, the best I have ever known. But his life has been so full of disappointments.
What kind of disappointments?
His only son died in infancy, so there was no one to carry on the family line. And the family's financial troubles have been hard on him. Wolfgang wanted to do so much for the world, but it was all he could do to just hold on to Schloss Ritter. He has not left his mark as he wished to.
What is your relationship with Wolfgang?
Herr Knight, my relationship with your uncle is really none of your business.
You're right, Goethe. I apologize. Forget I asked. Can you show me Wolfgang's library?
How do you know about his library?
When we talked on the phone, he said he was going to do some research in his library. I thought maybe if I saw what he was researching.
Ah, yeah, a good idea, Herr Knight. But I'm afraid I cannot show you the library. You see, I have never been in it. Only a Schattenjäger can enter the library.
I see. Just tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated his entire life to the role of Schattenjäger.
Just tell me anything.
He's not had a very happy life, but I've done my best to provide him with a little comfort.
Just tell me anything.
He thought he was the last of the Ritter line until he found out about you.
Just tell me anything.
He knows the history of the Ritter family from many centuries past.
Just tell me anything.
He is a good man, a strong man. I am fond of him.
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
As you like, Herr Knight.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
I can tell you what they say in the village, what I heard when I was small. To the villagers, the Ritters are a little, how do you say, tragic, to be pitied. They say that the Ritters were chosen by God to fight evil. But something happened. One of them was cursed, and so the Ritters lost the way. They struggle still, but like a lame dog, you see, without the power or magic they once had.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
There are legends of how powerful the family once was, of some of their mighty deeds, of the richness of the castle and, in turn, Rittersberg itself. But at the end of the 17th century, that all changed. Since then, the Ritters and Rittersberg have been in decline.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter has stood for many centuries. No one knows how long. It was once the pride of Bavaria, but now it is in disrepair. Wolfgang received offers to open the castle for tourists. He has resisted, though, even though the castle is in desperate need of repairs. To him, this ground is sacred.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
The castle has many, many rooms and passages, Herr Knight. Most have been closed off and are decaying in the dark and damp. Only a few rooms have been kept up due to the cost.
Didn't Wolfgang mention a library?
There's a library, but I've never been in it. There are places in the castle where only the master is allowed to go.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter is the center from which the Schattenjäger have always gone out to battle the forces of evil.
So, what do you do when you're not puttering around the castle?
Every day, I go to Rittersberg to do the daily shopping and visit my friends.
Have you worked here long?
For the past 4 years.
What's it like in Rittersberg?
It is very peaceful and quiet. I'm sure you will find it like a vacation, yeah?
Somehow I doubt this is going to be a vacation. This place is so quiet. Doesn't that bother you at all?
I love it here in Schloss Ritter. Even the silence feels like home to me.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersberg, the village below the castle.
Tell me something about yourself.
I'm not well traveled, but Wolfgang has been kind and has tutored me in many subjects. It was from him I learned to speak English. He must have sensed you were coming, Herr Knight, and that you would have need of me.
Tell me something about yourself.
I'm very devoted to my position here with Wolfgang.
Tell me something about yourself.
I love Rittersberg. No place on earth could be as beautiful.
It's a lion's head, carved in stone. A few ancient weapons adorn the hall.
This shadow hunter stuff is serious.
It's a shaker of salt. Gerda's desk looks old and well used, but well cared for. Her chair is more modern. At the moment, Gabriel can't think of a need for the salt. Gabriel is sure he'll end up getting some of those for a meal sooner or later. Gerda wouldn't appreciate Gabriel messing with her lunch. Three panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel can't determine what their purpose might be. Three panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel can't determine what their purpose might be. Perhaps it's an illusion caused by the colored light from the window. But this chapel gives Gabriel a sense of something truly mystical. Candelabra flank the altar. A plain wooden altar occupies the center of the chapel. A cushion kneeler at the bottom indicates that the altar is a place of prayer. Perhaps it's an illusion caused by the colored light from the window, but this chapel gives Gabriel a sense of something truly mystical. Three panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel can't determine what their purpose might be. Three panels hang from each side of the chapel. Gabriel can't determine what their purpose might be. A magnificent stained glass window depicts the legendary battle between St. George and the dragon.
I named my shop after you. You've always fascinated me. I just never knew why until now.
There are pews on both sides of the center aisle. The pews look uncomfortable. Gabriel would rather not sit there. Gabriel doesn't have a reason to kneel at the altar right now.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
What can you tell me about those wall panels in the chapel?
The hangings. They describe the Schattenjäger initiation ceremony.
Tell me about the Schattenjäger initiation ceremony.
Each young man of the Ritterline must go through the ceremony when he dedicates himself to be a Schattenjäger.
But what does the ceremony do?
I do not know, Herr Knight. The only people present are the old Schattenjäger and the new. But I think it must be similar to a priest's ordination or a wedding. A ceremony of intent and oath.
Ugh.
Is there a problem, Herr Knight?
You said wedding. I'm okay now. Is there anything else you can tell me about that initiation ceremony?
I really don't know any more about it, Herr Knight.
The first panel shows hands and water. The second panel shows hair and a knife. The third panel shows a chalice on a table with ocean waves in the background. The fourth panel shows a knife and a few drops of blood. The fifth panel shows someone kneeling. The sixth panel shows a scroll.
Is that a shaker of salt?
Yeah, salt.
Mind if I take it?
No.
Thanks.
A few ancient weapons adorn the hall. That weapon might be a bit much to carry around. There's a dragon's head on the wall. A large display case hangs on the wall. It contains a scroll.
This scroll looks interesting. St. George, patron of the light, who hunts the shadows of the night. Upon my blood I call thee now. Purify me, for I avow to set my feet upon thy road. Thy sword I take up for mine own.
Gabriel doesn't want to open the shaker until he's ready to use the salt. Gabriel takes the scissors. The portal says, Nor der Rheinst darf passieren, diesen Herz ist rein wie Glas, diesen Seele rein wie Feuer, schreitet heuer durchs Portal. A fire blazes steadily in the stone fireplace. The cabinet holds a few items for personal grooming. A Gothic-style window looks out over an incredible view.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
There are some words over the locked door in Wolfgang's bedroom. What do they mean?
Ah, yes. Wolfgang had me translated as part of my English lessons. In English it means, only the purest here may pass. He whose heart is pure as glass. He whose soul is pure as fire. Through this portal passes higher.
Great, thanks. Can you tell me about this scroll?
It is the scroll of St. George, patron saint of England and of the Ritter family.
A Gothic-style window looks out over an incredible view. Outside the window, there's a nice thick ledge where some rainwater has gathered into a puddle. Thinking of the first chapel panel, Gabriel washes his hands in the water. Thinking of the second chapel panel, Gabriel cuts his hair.
I hate this. There. That's plenty.
It's a chamber pot.
Take me back to the 20th century, please.
Gabriel takes the chamber pot. Thinking of the third panel, Gabriel puts the chamber pot on the altar. Thinking of the third panel, Gabriel pours the contents of the salt shaker into the chamber pot. Thinking of the fourth panel, Gabriel holds his arm over the chamber pot and nicks it with the dagger.
Oh, oops. Nearly hit an artery.
Thinking of the fifth panel, Gabriel kneels at the altar. Thinking of the sixth panel, Gabriel reads the scroll.
Saint George, patron of the light, who hunts the shadows of the night. Upon my blood I call thee now. Purify me, for I avow to set my feet upon thy road. Thy sword I take up for mine own. It worked. Something's happened.
Oh, excuse me. I was just vacuuming. I did not know you were in here.
No, that's all right. I've done about all I can do in here anyway. I give up.
You look tired, Herr Knight. Why don't you go to bed?
Sure, why not?
I will clean everything up. You need not worry.
I can't believe I cut my hair for nothing.
Your soul slaves, Gabriel Knight. You seek to be Schattenjäger?
I do.
You must first burn away the past. How much sin do you have to burn? You have used people all your life, never committing to anything. Turn back now, and I will forget that you asked for this.
No.
There are only two things that redeem you. First, that you have bitter blood in your veins. Second, that 3 women have loved you purely. You asked to start on the path, so you shall. But you will not be a Schattenjäger until you have earned it.
How?
I cannot show you the path, but I can tell you that you will have to let go of the greater part of yourself, Gabriel Knight.
No problem.
Yes, now you ask for purification. You shall have it.